Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, an impromptu stream. I've got about an hour or so before I have to go and start the school run. So I thought, well, why not do a little bit of base training for a change, where we can just relax and chat away and practice our takeoff and landing. So we're going to choose a nice airport for that, and one of our channel favorites for ease, of course, is Faro. So let's go ahead and get ourselves set up on runway 28, set that departure, and we'll just let that load in. Good evening, HD. Good evening. Ha! Try again. Good afternoon, HD. Dr. Magic, Flight Sim 123, Willie, J-Hog, Dark Fury. Yes, the Nightbot is indeed drunk again. Landerlinks, good to see you. Fly UK, hello. Crazy Ivan, you're going to find out what we're doing. Yeah, indeed. Lewis Aviation, good to see you as well. Cardinal 22, it's been a while, mate. Glad you're here. Lime Green P Band J, that is a great name. Jason and Mark, great to see all you guys here. Dom, hello. Dom, you can join in on your own simulator if you wish, but I'm not on multiplayer or anything like that. It literally is just going to be almost a simulator session in a simulator, if that makes sense. Just need to let this thing load and then we'll go ahead and get the aircraft set up. Now there are a few quirks to doing this in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Not everything is quite as true to life as the real aircraft, but we can talk about that as we go ahead. So let's just let everything set itself up. Fly with Cat X, hello. Colin Evans, good afternoon to you as well. Hey Brian.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
So I'm just going to give the fly-by-wire aircraft a minute or so to get itself sorted, and then we're just going to change a couple of things. So one of the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to get rid of the payload. I could put HD. How much do you weigh? Yeah, I could put just our weights in there, couldn't I? So we don't want too much fuel. Very light aircraft, of course, as you would expect. We're on live weather as well, which is quite nice. So we're going to go ahead and just set this up. So now the base training takes place usually about 1500 feet AGL here in Porto. It's going to be pretty close to sea level, so let's go ahead and pop that up. Another thing I want to do, otherwise we get all sorts of warnings, we're going to just turn off all the different alarms and things up there. Don't want those. Everything else is where we would expect it to be. Remember, it's not a real ops. I literally am doing simulator in a simulator kind of thing here. Right, so that's done. Let's just come down and set this up as well. So Lima Papa Fox Romeo, Lima Papa Fox Romeo. When it gets to around 5 past 10 past 3 UK time, guys, whatever we're doing, I need to stop, or I'm going to leave a little lad at the school gates. Flight number, I don't really care. Let's just put that in. Just put a nice low cost index in there. Put anything we want in the cruise altitude. We're not actually going to get up that high. So Johnny, if you remind me at some point, I will try and do that about the graphic settings. Right, then onto the flight plan page. We're just going to tell it we're departing runway 28. No SID, insert, and then a little quirk again of the simulator. I can't put the arrival in without it giving me a star or anything like that. Look, if I can't just select runway 28, I have to select either an ILS, an RNAV, a VOR, which is a bit of a pain because I don't want any of that. So I am just going to leave that blank. What I am going to do, however, is on the fixes page, I'm going to put the threshold in, which is Lima Papa Fox Romeo 28, and then just for that threshold I want a 90-degree radial to that, just so I've got that shown on the navigation display, which is 192. Let me just check how that looks. There we go, because essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take off, then we're going to come round. Once we get to a beam, the runway threshold, we're going to start the chrono, and we want 45 seconds of flight time before we then begin to turn back round to come in and land. Now that's 45 seconds without any wind and at 1,500 feet, so we need to keep an eye on the wind. If we've got a tailwind, it's going to be less. If it's going to be a headwind, then it is going to be more. So let's just check all that's right. I don't want anything in the rad nav. Onto the performance page. Flaps 1 for takeoff. Transition altitude, again, don't really care for this. We'll just pop in 5,000. Calculate the V-speeds. Captain George did indeed enjoy his steak. I was very jealous. S-speed is 179, which is important. As we're going to fly all of the circuit at flaps 1, so S-speed, we're going to need that. Okay, I think we are now about set up. Let's just clear the landing checklist on the lower E-cam. There we go. Right, so there's actually, because I'm on my own and there's no pilot beside me, sadly, there's actually quite a lot to do during the takeoff, getting everything sorted and things. So basically, this is sort of the order that we're going to do things. So we're going to take off. As we're climbing, then we're going to set S speed, which is 179, and then we're going to level off 1500 feet. At that point, I'm going to turn off the flight directors. We'll go track FPA. I'm then going to set the downwind leg track, which is 100 knots. So basically the opposite way. Not 100 knots, 100 degrees, which is the opposite way. And then we will go to manage speed. After I have armed the approach. Another thing as well, we on the go around, it's not a go around, but after we've landed and taken off again, the approach will remain armed. That wouldn't happen in the real aircraft, but it does here in the simulator. So I only actually need to activate the approach on the first circuit, and then we turn onto the downwind. So let's go, shall we? See how we get on. So we're going to set flaps 1 here on the Thrustmaster TCA pack. That's all done. Spoilers are armed. Let's release the parking brakes. Set 50% and 1. HD QNH is correct, I think. 1013. It just happens to be standard. And let's set Toga, Man Toga, SIS, runway. I love how you put QNH in capitals though. The sign of a good PM. Right, we're going to rattle our way up to 100 knots because we are so light. 100 knots, there we go. V1, rotate. Nav. Positive climb. Gear up. And there's lever climb. And let's set 179. So all manual flight. This all manual flight. Let's get ourselves leveled off at 1500 feet. There we go. Okay, so now we're more or less leveled off. We're going to get the flight directors off. Set track FPA 100 degrees. We'll make a left turn. Must be much easier in real life just to turn this dial. There we go. We're going to activate the approach phase. Confirm that. And now set manage speed, and let's start that turn. Just got a little high. Let's get ourselves back down. We'll go 20-25 degrees of bank. I would pop out the displays, but I get terrible lagging if I do that. So as I said a little bit earlier, it's all hand flown doing this. HD, yeah, the PM does it. Much easier when you've got the guy at the side of you. Don't want to overbank too much. So just coming around now, zoom in a little bit on these displays so you guys can see and I can see. And let's get the bird's tail on the blue, and then we fly 100-degree track. Just missed that ever so slightly. So simple in theory, but actually keeping that there we go. Okay, so now what I want you to do is waiting to cross the threshold, and then from there we can either obviously just look until we're beam that threshold, but I've also got that on the navigation display as well. Again, it's just easier here in the simulator. So a 40-knot tailwind. Once we get a beam that, then we are going to start the chrono and do 31 seconds before making that turn. Just watching our track again, we've got slightly off that. And doing this sort of base circuit training, whatever you want to call it, is relatively straightforward in terms of what it is you do, because you're literally just repeating it over and over and over again. So if anyone is desperate for a tutorial on what it is I'm doing and how I'm doing it, then I can do that at some point. We are a tiny bit close, aren't we? So that was probably the excessive bank on the turn out. I can probably just tease us away a little bit. There, we can just see. Also got to be careful not to climb as well. Right, there we go. So that's 31 seconds past. We're going to start that turn. Gear down, flaps 2. Aircraft will start slowing down. We'll set around 600 degrees of pitch. Now, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but suddenly my PFD has gone very jerky. So I've discovered if I turn that off and then turn that back on again, it sometimes fixes it. There we go. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. It means I haven't descended enough. So I'm also just checking the distance I've got shown here on the top right of the nav display. 3 miles, 1,000 feet is a good marker. We don't want to roll out too soon. A little bit of cloud just coming in there, but there we go, I can now see. So let's go flaps 3.
1,000.
Yeah, we're just a bit too soon on that, so let's just bring it back over a tad. Flaps full. Then we're looking for 2 white, 2 green, 2 white, 2 green, 2 white, 2 red. And then hopefully get ourselves a nice touchdown. After touchdown, we'll get the thrust back up. Flaps 2, and then toga. So there we go, 2 white, 2 red. We just need to roll her out on the runway centre line.
$500.
500 feet. I'm obviously not doing full landing checklists or anything like that. Slightly off that centre line. Let's get it back on.
300. 200.
And then concentrate that landing. We've really overshot that centre line there, haven't we?
100.
Let's get it back.
50. 40. 30.
Retard the thrust.
20. 10, 5,
Okay, touchdown. Thrust levers back up. Flaps 2. Happy they're moving. And toga. Take off at the magenta. V1 rotate. Why don't the flight directors come back on? Okay, flight directors back on. Set lever climb. Same thing with the speed. 179. Level her off at 1500 feet again. Flight director can go back on. Or come back off, sorry. Let's turn that display up a bit as well. It's a bit dark, isn't it? Okay, we've leveled that off. And then back to 100, back into managed speed as it's still got the approach armed. And now let's turn downwind again. We'll just do 20 degrees bank this time. A thrust reduction is 1,000 feet, thanks HD, so we can ignore the lever climb flashing. Flaps 1. That's something I forgot. Cheers HD. As well as the landing gear. First time round's great, it's the second time round you forget stuff. Vera, thank you so much for your donation, Vera. Really appreciate that. Apologies I missed it. Obviously it's quite intense doing what we're doing. We're hand flying as well. I'm still using the FlyByWire version of the SimBrief airframe as well at the moment. So that's available on their Discord. I don't know if I've made it available on our Discord as well. I'm going to have to check that, just in case I haven't. Okay, let's roll her out. There, the airport looks a little further away this time, doesn't it? There we go. Willie, I have seen that happen. In fact, we've seen it happen live on stream before. Okay, so I'm just going to get it down to 1,500 feet again. Thereabouts. And thanks to those of you on YouTube that have just subscribed. Say apologies, I'm really concentrating on what we're doing here. So there is the threshold. I beam that. Let's count again. 31 seconds due to the wind. We are on live weather as well. I'm just lucky that it's nice weather. Vera, are you on our Discord? If you are, sorry, we're just banking over to the left. If you are, then drop me a message and I'll help you out. We'll get that sorted for you. Okay, so there we go. That's 31 seconds. So we'll start that left turn. Landing gear coming back down. Flaps 2. 20 degrees again. And let's start that descent. If clouds become an issue, lower the circuit height. I'm already having palpitations at being 1,500 feet. Wigstrom 777, it's Faro in Portugal. So I just want to lower that descent rate a little bit. so that we're not too high coming in. Just check that bank roll out once more.
1,000.
Close to 1,000 feet, that's okay. Let's just level it off slightly, or not level off, but just reduce that rate. Okay, flaps 3 and flaps full. And there we go. Once again, let's get all lined up. Look out for those pappies again. And once we've got 2 white, 2 red, check that ground speed. So that's around 500-600 feet per minute. Not quite that much. Let's just bring her back up. There we go.
$500.
500 feet. Again, just slightly left of centre line. Let's get her back on.
$400. $300.
The centre line, don't worry too much about the pappies at this stage. Just keep that landing zone where it is.
200.
And then don't become ground shy at the last minute, which is something I am guilty of occasionally.
100. 50. 40. 30.
Thrust to idle.
20. 10. 5.
And touchdown. Thrust levers up. Flaps 2. And toga. Rotate. Flight directors should come on automatically. There they are. Positive climb, gear up. Flaps 1. Oh, we've not pulled the thrust levers back. Ooh, that was close. Don't let the aircraft climb anymore. Are we not in track? There we go, that's better. Flight directors off. And speed. Start again, 20 degrees. It's ingraining that sort of the difference between what you do in a normal takeoff into what you need to do for doing this. The normal takeoff bit is fine, isn't it? But suddenly your thrust reduction isn't happening in the normal place, so you're having to check your altitude. You then want to pull S speed. You want to get flight directors off, set track. It's just a case of getting used to that and practicing it over and over. So altitude this time is looking good. Again, we're at about 20 degrees of bank there, which should roll us out okay. And we'll roll her out again. So I do apologise if people are asking questions in the chat. I know that if I'm missing them, there will be loads of the community, the channel members that will be able to help you guys out. Okay, let me just reset the chrono there. HD, yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with the FDs because FlyByWire had that coded in originally. Toga always put FDs on, and we've seen that happen on go-arounds. So it must just be the new version that's not happening, sadly. Something else that I need to now remember to do. How are we doing for time? 14:37. We're good. We've got a good half an hour to go. There's our airport again. And of course you can do this at any airport with a decent length runway and preferably not in high terrain. I wouldn't do it at Tivat, for example. Right, okay, so let's start that chrono. Again, 31 seconds. Says HD, you're a great source of info on the 320. That is very true. But I'd be very concerned if he wasn't. Thompson, I don't think you can install liveries on Xbox. No. There's 31. Left turn. Gear down. Flaps 2. And we'll start a descent again. About 500-600 feet per minute. So if you guys can think of somewhere that's quite nice and scenic with a long runway and generally flat around it, then I say we can do this anywhere. And the good news, guys, we should have another stream tonight. We always usually do a real ops flight on a Tuesday evening, so you might be being treated to 2 streams this evening.
1,000.
Flaps 3. And flaps full. About 3 miles away, 1,000 feet, so let's again just check that speed. So that's going to be about 600 feet per minute. Just rolled out a little early again. So when we land, thrust up, flaps 2, take off. And the evening stream tonight is usually around 2000 hours. Just a bit low on that. Let's just stay safe. Slow that rate of descent down. 500 feet. Let's start to roll her out on that centre line. Two white, 2 red.
400.
And let's just try and remember it's a normal takeoff. There's all the other stuff to do, but fundamentally it's just a normal takeoff.
300.
And I think that's sometimes where I just concentrate more on the other stuff and forget the fundamentals.
200.
Centre line again if we can.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Slightly longer on this landing.
10. 5.
Okay, touchdown. Thrust levers up. Flaps 2. And toga. And rotate. Flaps 1. Gear up. Climb thrust. Flight directors off. Oh, need to pull S speed. There we go. Set 100, and we've just climbed a little bit there as well. There we go. We've just got a bit too high there. Oh, of course, why are we retracting flaps before thrust reduction? You'd never do that normally. Spoke about that before in flaps 3 takeoffs. Don't touch the flaps until you've reduced thrust. So I'm going to do a slightly less bank out, just to give us perhaps a bit of a wider circle to come back in on. HD, I think that's the thing. It's trying to get yourself back in that mindset that it's just normal. You don't do anything different to what you would normally do. But it's making sure that that's exactly what you do. But then this is a really good reason of why we would practice doing this. And the more you do it, obviously, the better you get at it. I've certainly never done this before on stream either. Let's see if we can get it this time, shall we? Okay. Hopper on track. There we go. Just reset that chrono. Okay, so let's just briefly, we've got like a minute, 60 seconds, maybe less, just to brief that takeoff. So it's just a normal takeoff. So it's takeoff, positive rate of climb, gear up, thrust reduction, set climb thrust, go flaps 1, set S speed, level off, flight directors off, track FPA on, and then we can set downwind. HD, yeah, the wider the first turn, the wider the turn to the final you need. That's fine. I think I was just perhaps overbanking a bit too much on that first turn, so which is why I kept rolling out a little bit early. Right, we've just missed the threshold there while I was doing that, but give it 30 seconds or so, and then we'll go. My left hand is aching. It's that long since I've had to fly manually like this. It's not normal. So here we go, coming up on the time to turn. There we go. So, turn being made, landing gear down, flaps 2. Ryan E, thank you so much for your $4.49 donation there. Really appreciate it. I hope you find the streams and tutorial videos useful. Very, very kind of you, Ryan. Thank you so much. And make sure you join us tonight for a real ops flight. And before you ask, no, I have no idea where we're going. Why am I not in speed mode? We're not going to slow down if I'm not in speed mode. So you can just see the one of the things you can't do in the simulator aircraft that you can do in the real aircraft, of course, is sort of lean forward and look behind the pillar.
$1,000.
1,000 feet. We're a bit too low. Let's just level it off a little bit. We're still 3.5 miles away. Flaps 3. And flaps full. Oh, HD, I like the sound of that. Actually, no, I'm not sure I do. On base training, you debrief in the air on each downwind leg. You don't have that long on the downwind legs, so there better not be much wrong. What time are we on? 14:47. We might get a couple more in. If you guys are enjoying this kind of video, then please do hit the like button on the stream. Let me know. And whenever I've got a spare half hour, 45 minutes, or even an hour, we may do a few more of these. And I can also explain how to set it up as well. Right, there we go. 2 white, 2 red. 113 on the ground speed. So around 500-600 feet per minute. Willie, real-time feedback. Yeah, and that's what we're getting from the great HD, which is lovely. Okay, remember, normal takeoff, toga,
300.
positive rate, gear, thrust reduction, then flaps.
200.
A little high on this one,
100.
but we'll go with it for now.
50. 40. 30. 20.
And flare.
10. 5.
Touchdown. Thrust levers up. Get rid of the spoilers. Flaps 2. And toga. Take off. Rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Get that pitch up, otherwise we're going to overspeed. Thrust reduction. Flaps 1. Set S speed. Yeah, HD, you called it. The pitch. The pitch wasn't high. It wasn't high enough, which is why we ended up with the speed increasing. Let's just get ourselves back down, isn't it? I've gone for a nice relaxing stream whilst HD sits at home pulling his teeth out. Pitch target 50, between 15 and 17 and a half. Let's see if we can get one more in. We might get 2 more. School run's not that far. I think the thing that's annoying is, you know, we'll do a re-ops flight this evening and there'll be absolutely no issues. With the takeoff anyway. Right, we've had our debrief. And if anyone wants to see this happen in real life, I think it was the EasyJet in the cockpit series showed this, didn't it? For a few of the cadets. In fact, someone I know got asked to go on it that was learning at the time, and he said, "God no." So yeah, we were a tad high on that last one round. What's really impressive as well, as you're, I can see in the chat, chatting about the cadets doing it, is they swap over during the base leg as well. So not only are they obviously getting debriefed or whatever, they're swapping over. They're into the seats, etc. So they obviously all get a go. There's our threshold. Start the chrono. So if you guys want to be back to watch a full flight on VATSIM etc. this evening, then yeah, set your clocks for around 2000 Zulu time. That's when we'll be going, as long as the kids are in bed. Okay, gear down, flaps 2. Let's get that pitch down. When you get flaps 2, you get that little balloon now, which you didn't used to get when the sim first came out. Ah, my primary flight display has gone buggy again. Is anybody else having that issue? Or is it just me? I'd love to know what's causing that. It's still buggy. Let's turn it off again. Makes it a bit more difficult. Primary flight display failure. Thankfully, we do have a backup. Not that I'd particularly want to use that. That's annoying. It's almost like the refresh rate is on a go slow, isn't it? Problem is, I don't know the rate of descent. Flaps 3. Flaps full. So I'm not really sure what's causing this, unfortunately. And concentrating on that, we've overshot the landing. It's working again now. Let's come back.
1000.
We're now quite high. Let's just get her down. We can still rescue this. Well, we've been okay landing wise. Let's see if we can get the takeoff correct.
$500.
2 white, 2 red. That's good. Set around 600 feet.
400.
And get us back on that centre line.
$300.
That wind's increased ever so slightly as well since we started.
$200.
Nail those white markers.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Spot on. Thrust up. Flaps 2. And toga. Rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Flaps 1. And try and level off around 1500 feet. Doesn't matter actually if this outbound leg is a little extended. .100, and then we'll begin that turn. Go on, we'll get one more in. And I think for my own personal practice, I'm going to get one more in and a takeoff, and then we'll just have to stop the stream mid-flight, I'm afraid. Can't leave the boy outside the school gate, can we? Well, we could, but I'll get a rollicking. Not from him, from his mother. Okay, let's see if we can get another one in. Hey Christian, good to see you. Which one's this one? Is this number 5? I've lost count now. I presume in the real world someone's sat there with a chalkboard marking it off. What a lad, you're in the car park on the school run. Good stuff. Okay, there we are. Alright, 1500 feet, just keep her leveled off. Reset that chrono. Just keep us on the downwind track as well. Okay, last landing, one more takeoff, and then I shall have to run. But I'll be back tonight, as I say, so make sure you don't miss that. I've no idea where we're flying to or from yet. Executive Dispatcher, thank you very much for the follow. Christian, it will look familiar. It's our favourite airport. It's Faro. There we go. Gorgeous scenery as always. Shame there's... I don't know if there is a payware add-on for Faro. If there is, we shall have to get it. Then HD can show us where the custard tarts come from. Right, 31 seconds, let's begin. Gear down. And flaps 2. Set the descent. Primary flight display is buggered again. .4 miles. Flaps 3.
1,000.
Flaps full. About 1,000 feet, 3 miles away, that's good. So we are going to do one more takeoff. keep that about 600 feet per minute, that should work. Two white, two red. Checking our ground speed as well, just to make sure. We don't want 700 feet per minute, that'll get us down a bit too much.
500.
Just overcorrected slightly there, didn't we? So one more takeoff, and then I shall see you all this evening.
300.
Let's not be ground shy on this next landing. Okay, I'm happy with the runway track, that looks good. Just force that aircraft down.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Slightly early, but not too much. Thrust up. And flaps 2. Toga. And rotate. It has become windy for the takeoff. Gear up. And flaps 1. Level off 1500 feet. Pull S speed. Flight directors. And then we'd set that back to 100 and we'd look to go around again. Right guys, I'm afraid I don't think I'm going to get another one in, not without getting in trouble. So, with that, thanks so much for stopping by and watching a little bit of base training. If anyone does want a video on that, leave a comment down below, and if there's enough people, I will try and get one done explaining how it is that we do that. I'm gonna have to shoot, but I will be back tonight for a proper real ops flight with VATSIM, etc. Hopefully some full ATC as well. Thanks very much for watching. I have to go, but I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Big thanks to those of you that donated and contributed to the channel's upkeep during this flight today. And of course to HD for being a fantastic PM, and to the EasyJet SimPilot channel members for your continued support. Thanks very much everyone. I shall see you all again soon. HD, your fastest circuit was 3 minutes 60. I love that you remember that. See you later everyone. Bye bye.